Hi, everybody. We're back. A lot of people keep asking me, when we come to our house and say, "Well, are you moving?" And I had to tell them, "No." Yes, they came. Where are you moving? I said, "No, not moving our home. Well, radio show is moving." Ha ha.
Yeah, you got us.
Thank you.
You got us
Thank
on
you.
that one.
Thank you very much.
But do you know when it's moving to?
Our radio show is moving to Saturday at 11 o'clock, before or after the center stage show by Danielle Johnson.
Yeah.
See, I remember from like a minute ago.
Very nice.
Yeah, so this is our last Sunday show at 3 o'clock, and then the next Saturday when you guys are out there doing your shopping and things like that, tune into us, find a little bit more about real estate. We're here with Don Geisler, who's the CEO of Indie Realty. That is the branch where we hang our license at, or rather the brokerage we hang our license at. And Don, I want to talk a little about the fact that the median prices, people were saying, hey, waiting for things to come down, and the median price seems to be rising regardless of what the interest rate is.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that an interesting thing that the data is telling us right now is that appreciation in home pricing is normal. Like it's at its normal rate. So when we look at the stats from 2021, I almost said 1921, from 2021 to 2022, they jumped up 20%.
Right.
And so there's this weird conflagration of, massive demand for property, all of a sudden, and interest rates still being rock bottom, so prices shot up. And we were in a seller's market in Tucson for years.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we consider 6 months of inventory to be a balanced market, meaning if no more come on the market at current velocity of sales, how long before you run out? We consider 6 months of inventory to be a balanced market. And we haven't seen 6 months of inventory, and it's got to be 10 years. It might be more.
I was going to ask, that's the question I was ready to ask. When was the last time we had a balanced market? Since I've been in the industry, I've been with my wife walking out there and going to listing appointments, and she always mentioned that we don't have a balanced inventory. I'm like, well, when did we ever have one then?
There was a time.
There was a time many years ago.
But things are so. It was funny, Danielle. We had this conversation this morning about there's no norm. There is no normal anymore, because there are always these forces that have changed things. Like when the market crashed, and then all these home buyer tax breaks and incentives came in, and artificially pumped it back up. Then like normal market cycles were all shot.
Right.
So I would have to look, right, to tell you the honest truth. I mean, but we've been in a seller's market for a very long time. But in 2020, there's a combination of a lot of things, including people with assets not being comfortable with financial markets and recognizing that real estate was a great place to put, And so this is about things happening in the stock market, things happening in the government, things happening with people looking at inflation in the future, devaluing their assets, and changes in political theater, and just all this stuff. So it just ramped up out of control. But then when we see over the past year, prices have gone up 4%, which is exactly what we expect. We expect 4% a year, 3 to 5% appreciation per year consistently. So again, we're just kind of settled into a pretty normal market in that respect.
And there was a time when I bought originally in 2004. There was a time when property values really increased, and then they came back down to being pretty flat. Kind of, I ended where I started. But because I had been making payments on my own mortgage, the equity in my house continued to build, even though the price had not sustained that higher value. I had a lot of equity in my home just by the fact that I wasn't renting someone else's home. I was paying down my own mortgage. So we don't have anything like that happening now. It's still showing increases, and I still think that, at the end of the day, you own the house, regardless of whether the market is going up or it's going down. It's a roof over your head, and you still have a place to live.
Yeah.
I think that the value of home, that's what I was saying before. When we saw this wild appreciation when people were looking at homes not just as a home, but as investment. I mean, it's always an investment, right? But for investment purposes solely, people were doing such a thing. And now we see in the broader market, not that there's not investors out there doing their thing and doing really, really well, which we respect a lot. But in the broader market, we see that 4% appreciation, which reflects, people don't use the home as a piggy bank. They're not using it to hide assets. They just want a home that they can love.
Right. Place to call home.
I just did it on purpose because I wanted the peace and quiet for people to think about. If you're at home, you're probably like taking a deep breath. We needed you to take that deep breath and understand that that's what real estate is all about. That's why you want to hire a great agent from a great brokerage that's doing the best they can to make sure your interest is always at the forefront. And when you're talking about interest and things like that, what are we doing to help the seller feel comfortable about putting their house on the market?
Well, the first thing is that we have the resources and the tools to be aware of when things come on the market. And so we have the ability to act quickly when things come on the market. Right. So we have the ability to make them aware so that they can find, a place to live. And then also we tend to work with great lending partners and people that, the lender that we spoke to this week, John, he just said he's closing deals in the 5% range, which is just, people don't understand that they're looking at the newspaper and they're saying rates are bumping 8% right now. But once we're out there and all the different facets come into play, and I'm not making any pitch for interest rates because it's not my role, you know, but we need to let sellers know that we will hook them up with the appropriate professionals to help them in their new purchase as well. And we're able to put together great looking transactions and deals for people and help them achieve their goals.
Right. And I think it looks different on every transaction, whether you're asking a seller to contribute towards closing costs, or you're buying down your own interest rate, or you're using some of the programs that John has talked to us about, a 1% down program. There are options for people, but really until they make that first phone call, you don't know what those options are.
Well, and when you're listening to all the noise that's out there, it's really distracting, and it can put you in a position of feeling like you're way behind or it's not possible. But it does just take that phone call to get the information from someone who really knows what they're doing. And I mean, it opens up worlds of opportunity and possibilities.
Yeah, I think people need to realize that full service is what we provide. I can't speak for anyone else, but we go from, we're not the experts in everything, but we have the right people to guide you for all facets of real estate. We handle the transaction purpose. We got a great title company. We have a great lender. We have a great brokerage. So I think we're carrying a lot of good things that we can bring to the table to any single person that wants to buy and sell a house.
And we are available to help with that. And Don, we've got great agents at the office as well. They can call the main line.
Yep, we can, Indy Realty, 520-777-8973. And we've got great professionals there to help. And we're really excited about our group of people and just the positivity, flowing in our location right now, and the enthusiasm that we have going on for the market, and just being part of it. Like we talked about, there's a lot to be excited about in the Tucson marketplace, living in the Tucson area. And, we just really love being part of that.
We want to thank Don's going to hang around with for the whole series, but we want to sit back and thank him right now for all the great things you do, not only for us, but also for the community and with Indy Realty. So we're back after the break. You're listening to the I Am Real Estate Show with Ray, Sandra, and Danielle. Don't forget that Danielle has a show called Center Stage.